So when I was younger, we had a little gym in our garage, and I started training when I was around 15, 16. That's when I first started like lifting weights, getting into the gym. And I remember there would be days where like even though the gym was literally in my house, literally like all I had to do was go down the stairs and take a left into the garage and just lift some weights. But there would literally be days where I was just so demotivated. I just didn't have motivation to go. And when I didn't have motivation to go, I would go on TikTok and I would search up like old school edits of like big jack bodybuilders in the gym just pumping a fuck ton of weight. And there'd be like some bassy music in the background or something. And that would like make me hyped up to try and go. And then I'd go downstairs, get in the gym, lift some weights, and then like, I would come back the next day and try and just watch it again. And then I'd be like, yeah, it's not giving me the same burst of motivation. I'd say to myself like, I need motivation to go, man, because I just can't be arsed. Like it's boring. And so I found out pretty quickly that when it comes to anything really, but in that specific moment when it came to training or gym, motivation doesn't work. It doesn't last. Like I just couldn't be asked to go, and eventually when I didn't have the motivation, I just stopped going. So like I'd be on TikTok trying to look up like motivational edits and stuff and just watching them and be like, yeah, cool. Like there would be some days where it would give you that short term boost of energy, right? Like I'd be like, yeah, okay, like let's fucking do it, let's smash it. And then other days I'd watch it and just be like, oh man, this is like it wouldn't really hit the same. But yeah, I found out pretty quickly that motivation doesn't work when you try and do the hard things. It doesn't last. And I remember there was this one day where I came across like an edit of Joe Rogan. You guys have probably seen this clip where he's like, he basically says, fuck your motivation. Like, you don't need motivation. What you need is discipline. And I was like 16 at the time. I was like, what the fuck is a discipline? Like, I had never heard of that term up until I was 16 years old. I had never heard of the term discipline until I was 16. Like, up until I was 16, that was the first time I ever like went and searched up what discipline actually was. So he was saying that I didn't understand what he meant, and I searched it up and I was like, oh okay. And it basically just had like doing the hard things over and over, like when you don't want to do it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, the next day I wasn't like a disciplined fucking beast who just went to the gym every day for the year. Like, no way. I think when I was 16, I didn't even train properly. I probably trained like twice a week, and I was just doing some bullshit. But when I was about 17, my auntie got me a book called Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. And in that book, I actually learned to understand why discipline is so important and why discipline lasts rather than motivation. And if you guys want to understand why exactly what I just said, why it lasts, why every successful person needs discipline, why you don't need motivation, why you need discipline. If you guys want to truly understand that, go and read that book by Ryan Holiday, Discipline is Destiny. It's a great book. But I read that book and I understood that motivation isn't what you need when you're doing the hard things. In fact, when you're about to go to the gym and you really don't want to fucking go, like you have the least motivation you've ever had to go, then forcing yourself to go then at that point, that is what matters. If you go when you're motivated, cool, like anyone can do that. Anyone can go when they're motivated. But no one, pretty much no one goes when they're demotivated to go. If you can do those hard things when you don't want to do them, you will be disciplined. Going to the gym when you've had the worst day, when you had a bad day at work, you had a bad day at school, you come back, you just receive like, I don't know, some bullshit text from your girl or some shit, or like you're just in a bad mood, you just can't be asked, you're telling yourself like, fuck this, like I'm gonna watch some Netflix. Nah, fuck that. That is when you need to go. That is when you use that as motivation. And when you can do that, you'll be so much fucking better off than everybody else. Because most people, as soon as they have that little thought of, oh, you know what, I can just stay home, I can be comfortable, I don't have motivation to go, so I'm not gonna go. The times where you don't have the motivation is when you need to go. And that's what I've learned after being on self-improvement for a few years. That is what I've learned matters the most. And the best thing is, each time you do that, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. I used to be so inconsistent with the gym. I used to go maybe 2-3 times a week. This week, in the past 2, 3, 4 weeks, I've trained 6 days a week. 6 days a week, and 2 years ago, I probably trained 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything. I'm saying because every time I was demotivated to go, I forced myself to go. And because of that, it just became easier and easier and easier and easier every single fucking time. And that is why motivation doesn't fucking last. Discipline lasts. Discipline builds grit. It builds perseverance. It builds confidence. Discipline is so much better than motivation. Motivation's good because it will encourage you to go, it will give you the energy to go, but it doesn't last. That motivation will go quickly, and when it does, you need to decide whether you're going to carry on working towards that goal you have, or just sit back down in your comfortable bed or wherever you are, even if you're watching this right now in your bed or watching your Netflix, whatever your comfort zone is, going back to gaming, doing all that shit. So yeah, fuck your motivation. So yeah, as I was saying before, I got off on a bit of a tangent. Motivation doesn't last. What each and every one of you needs is a system that actually keeps you going. And the way you build that system is through a mental reframe. So you need to understand that motivation isn't going to last you when it comes to the gym, or when it comes to the good habits like reading, meditating, journaling. Motivation doesn't last, because eventually you're not going to have the motivation to do it. And if you don't have discipline, you're just not going to do it anyways. So you need to reframe your thinking to what I just spoke about before, where you need to remind yourself that if you can do the hard things when you want to do them the least, if you can just force yourself to do it, like, I know it's hard, it's easier than saying it. If you can just force yourself to do it just once, even once, right, you'll be so much better off, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. The system gets easier and easier and easier, and because of that, you just get closer to your goals, and you just become a better and better person. And that's how self-improvement works. That's how the journey of becoming a better person works. You have to do the hard things. You have to force yourself to do the hard things. And don't get me wrong, discipline isn't easy. Like, when I'm talking about discipline, oh shit. Yeah, when I'm talking about discipline, it's not easy. It's not something you can achieve in a week or even a month or maybe even a year. But the more you do the hard things, the easier it is, and the closer you get to becoming disciplined. And there's an easy way to actually become disciplined. There is a very, very easy way to become disciplined, which most people don't talk about. They usually just talk about the hard stuff you need to do, the perseverance, the going to the gym every day, the fucking making the money, just getting down and doing 6 hours of work. It doesn't work like that, because that's like trying to go into the gym and bench 100 kilos on your first day. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just become disciplined in one day. Like everyone says, like, just get down and do the 8 hours of work on your business. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. There's an easy way to start off, and there's an easy way to start becoming disciplined that each and every one of you can do right now, today. And the way that works is just making small, tiny changes. Small, tiny changes that amount up to big results. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say you want to start reading, right? Voice crack. Let's say you want to start reading as one of your good habits, yeah? So let's say you try and start off with 10 pages a day and you do it for like 2 days, but after that, you just can't, like, you fumble, like you start reading 5, the next day you don't read any. Then, just force yourself to read one page a day. Or read for 1 minute, just 1 minute a day, that's it. Just 1 minute. Let's say you need to meditate, you want to start meditating. Let's say you meditate for 30 seconds, just 30 seconds in the morning. Let's say you've been struggling to go to the gym. Just get on the treadmill and run for 5 minutes. Or if you're gonna do weights, just do 2 sets of biceps and go home. And you can probably imagine when you're doing these things, it will probably feel like a waste of time, right? Yeah, it's supposed to. But don't let yourself continue longer than what I've just said. Don't let yourself continue. After a week of doing that, after a week of doing these small, tiny changes, trying to improve bit by bit every single day, after a week, you'll find in yourself that you actually want to continue and you want to do it longer and you want to do it properly. And over time, you can start to progress more and more and more. So instead of reading for just 1 minute, next time do 2, next time 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just keep going. Instead of going on the treadmill for 5 minutes, do 10 minutes the next week, then 15, then 20, 30, and just keep going. It's about momentum. And the more you do these habits, the more you implement these tiny changes, the easier it will be to do it the next time. And then over time, the results just amount up and they just get so much bigger. And that's how you build discipline. That's how you build discipline, by sticking to it, by staying consistent, by doing it no matter fucking what. And the starting off, when you start off, that's the hardest point, just starting. And so you can make it easy for yourself by doing what I just told you to. Small, tiny changes, big improvements. And basically what that does when you start to implement these tiny changes, you're telling your brain that you can actually do these things. You can do the hard things. And they're not actually that hard. So yeah, take my advice. If you're struggling with discipline right now, if you're using motivation just to try and get by, no. Do what I'm telling you to do. Use this system, small tiny changes, big results. And then you will achieve discipline. And the same thing has happened in my life, where I can give a million examples of habits where I've had to do the same thing that I just explained. So, for example, I used to play a lot of video games. I used to play a lot of PlayStation, PS5, PS4, PS3. I've owned every single PlayStation from the PS2. So I was a big gamer when I was younger. Like, I just used to sit there and literally, I could play for like 8 hours if I wanted to. In fact, I did want to. Like, I would do that some days. And to make it easier for myself, I made like tiny changes, such as just stop buying new games. So like, when a new game comes out, just don't buy it, forget it. And then eventually I was like, okay, so you guys probably know this thing called PSN, which is like online, to be able to play online. And it's probably the same for Xbox and stuff, or Nintendo Switch, whatever you play. And I just stopped renewing that. It was like £50 a year, I just stopped. And it made it so much easier for me to stop playing on my PlayStation, because the next time I went on it, there was literally nothing to do because I didn't have any new games and I didn't have the online thing, so I couldn't even chat to my friends and play. So there was nothing to fucking do. Like, I literally logged on. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I just left it. And now I haven't played on my PS5 for probably like 6-7 months. You just have to make it easy for yourself. You just have to implement small changes. And I promise you, once you do that, your life will get so much better and you'll be so much better of a man. I took these exact same steps. I took these tiny, small steps. Now I read every day, now I meditate every day, journal every day. I try and do some form of like exercise every day. I quit every single bad habit I used to have. Say you have a problem smoking right now or drinking, just cut it down slowly. Just cut it down slowly. Let's say like you smoke every day. Don't try and just quit smoking, like, because as I just said, that's not gonna work, right? Let's say you smoke like let's say you smoke cigarettes, or you smoke weed and you're having about three zoots or three this is so cringe to say, 3 zoots or 3 fags a day. Cut it down to twice, then once, and then go a whole day without smoking. And try again, just try again to do it the next day, but if you fail, it's okay, because you made progress and you have the opportunity to do better each and every time you fail. So don't look at it in a bad way, look at it as an opportunity. But yeah, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but yeah, that's my advice when it comes to motivation. Fuck the motivation, build discipline. If you want to build discipline, do it through these tiny changes, these small habits, and they will lead to big results. And it will change your life, because it changed mine. Stay disciplined.